Hey everybody, good evening to you. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I got a pretty big update for y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and go through it for you. And before you put in the comments, I know this video is long. That's why I always put links in the description right below the title. That way you can see exactly where you came here to see. Those that do watch the whole video, thank you so much. God bless you for your support. I do appreciate you. But I am here to save you time as much as I can and help you as much as I can, guys. So please use the links if you do just need to see for your section of what you're looking for. And if you've never been here before, hello, my name is Mark. How you doing? I upload every single day. I don't usually do updates unless something dramatically changed. And I do show that not only do we have the one Arctic blast that's coming, I'm showing that we have multiple, guys. I'm not showing that winter is over yet. It's not going to be jumping into spring. It will be for the East Coast, not for West USA. It is literally going to stay winter all the way until mid-March, maybe even longer. Now, as you can see, everybody is warming up pretty nicely. Even in the north, you're pretty much above freezing temperatures, except for some in the Northeast. But everything's melting, so be very careful. My icicles, I had big 6-foot-long icicles hanging. I'm upstairs, so it was hanging pretty good. Be careful, y'all. Everything is thawing out, so there could be sheets of ice falling off these buildings. There could be big icicles from way up. Don't get hurt. I remember last year and the year before, they had some big sheets of ice, and they could fall and crush on some cars. Be careful. Now, I will make another video about this, but I am showing that hurricane season will be a strong one again, guys. There's less dry air and there's less wind shear, so there's not much to stop these storms when they come across. So I will make that another time. I just want to let you know it looks like it's going to be a rough one. As well as spring. It's going to be taking us forever to get into spring. So let me get into this video. It's going to be long enough for me to edit and deal with, so make sure you hit the links in the description. On the way there, smash the like. Thank you so much. If you like the links, hit the like button for me. I would appreciate it. Now, the two videos that I do have on the left side of the screen, the top one is GFS. The bottom one is EPS. And if anybody's ever been into my channel, they know that I like EPS. It put a forecast confidence into these models, and it's made by the European Center, but it's made to be medium to long range. So it does mix in some perimeters from long range models. But it is a forecast confidence system, so it really is way accurate. But it is the temperatures from the 850 millibar level, 3,000 to 5,000 feet up. That way you can see these cold anomalies come on in. That's going to be that green that you see. The purple is pretty much cold and Arctic air, just so you know. But you'll see that we do have multiple cold anomalies coming in the West Coast, and it's going to drag across through the central U.S. and curve up through the Midwest. There is going to be a couple that might cause a storm or two on the East Coast. I will bring that up. Now, I'm about to get in this to let you know everything that pretty much that you need to know about this system and which way it's motion. Before I get going, as we all know, these forecasts, anything past 5, especially 7 days, is kind of iffy. But we all know also that this energy has to flow somewhere. So some part of this pattern is correct. As far as the impacts, I can guarantee you the impacts are going to be wrong. But the impacts, we can get it as we get closer. But the impacts will be iffy to wrong. But the track most of the time is about same. It might move over a little bit, like instead of being central U.S., it'll move a little bit towards the East Coast, a little bit more. But it's about the same pattern. So at least we can see what's coming. Now the good news. Good news is it's not going to be as bad as y'all had it once before. When it went all the way down to -6, got very cold, deep into the U.S., that's not going to happen. It's going to begin to come around February 26th and make its way into the country. Around March 11th, which is an even deeper trough of a cold air that's going to spill into our country. And it is. It's going to be a pretty fat pressure system that's going to squeeze in on the West Coast. That was GFS. Now, if we look at EPS, which is an ensemble prediction system, and they are really accurate, and it does go further as well. They do have a 45-day as well. Now, if you look right around the 4th through the 6th, there's another dip of Arctic air that's going to come out from the north, and this is going to be the worst time. It'll get almost to -1, not really, but it'd be close. But it'd be the worst time for this cold air as it goes through. But you can see the dips here when you look at the 45-day of it. right here around March 1st is going to dip into about the 5th. They're going to have another dip from about the 7th all the way to the 12th. And even another possibility for getting into late March for it to start cooling down a little bit towards the end of the month. Now, if you look at the EPO, there's the Eastern Pacific Oscillation. This is your west coast, and you can see right around the 25th, 24th to 25th of February, according to the GFS, that there will be a dip. It won't go too far. It'll be almost a -1, so the trough will come down a little bit. And then you'll see it go up to the positive. You'll see it come back down around the 27th, 28th. Only a little bit, not a whole bunch, but it comes down. And you'll see this bobble. And once again, you'll see one at the 5th. And you'll see a big one on the 11th. That's the big one. But this bobble right here, this bobble is little pieces of pressure that's coming out from the high pressure in the north. That's what each one of these bobbles represent. And it is doing a little anomaly swinging across our jet stream. Now, normally these stay in they stay up north, and it's like a bunch of fingers that just swirl around. Well, this is going to be kind of on a tilt and swirl around, and it's going to ping, 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 ping. And it's going to keep hitting the west coast. And if you look at the EPO, the Eastern Pacific Oscillation, and I'm going by the EPS, the 40 for 45 days, you can see right around the 27th that it will go to a trough, then a high ridge, then a trough, then a very high ridge, then to go down to a trough, then it'll go about average, right? And then it'll go to another trough around the 11th, and then it'll start going towards this high ridge and just ride out what it's going to do. But you can see it lowers down, so there'll be some storms later. But this little pinging that it's doing, this is going to be these little anomalies of cold air. Also, if you've been with me for hurricane season, leave a comment below. Let me know you've been here. Hey, how you doing? Haven't seen in a while. I miss you. You've seen this page before. And this right here is your velocity potential. If you've never been to my channel before, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do update and let my matter of fact, I believe I was the only one during last hurricane season that notified everybody so many times of these hurricanes that did come. But if you look at the 60W right here, this is the Caribbean. This is the east coast of the U.S. And I'm showing that there is a big anomaly, a strong anomaly that's going to be happening on the east coast. And that's because there's a possible nor'easter that could pop out of all this going on. I'll talk about that later. But it's around March the 11th. Also, if you've never been here before, in between these two videos is the date of the timestamp that I'm looking at and showing you. Now this right here is looking at our 2-meter temperatures. We're just looking from a back view across all of North America so you can see everything that's going on. And this is the air that's going to swing around and drop us what we're going to get. And you can see that the first one happens around the 28th and starts dropping cold air. It starts beating that warm air with this cold air, and it gets into the atmosphere. It's going to make the whole west side of the U.S. cold for a while. Now, if you bring it in a little bit, this is our 850 millibar temperatures. This is 3,000 to 5,000 feet high in the air. And you can see that this big cold Arctic air in the north, and it brings out this piece of the high pressure with a lot of cold Arctic air with it. However, this is going to dump major amounts of snowfall, and there's going to be a big system in the center of the U.S. by the end of all this. But you can see all the cold air coming in up there at 850 millibars coming into the U.S. And this is what's going to happen a few times. This is going to come out and it's going to swing like a baseball bat 3 times. And if you look at the temperatures that's actually on the ground, this is what it looks like. As a matter of fact, you can kind of take half the country and just cut it straight in half, almost like a yin-yang symbol with the blue and the red just curving by each other. That's about how it's going to look for a couple of weeks. But you can see you're in single digits. You're all the way in the western Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. This is all going to stay around here and expand as it goes. And then you got North Dakota is 0 degrees. And with the wind chills, it feels like it's -6. Feels like it's 0 degrees in Montana. It feels like negative teens in the Midwest. So this is a really cold air that's going to be scooping in. And the worst part that's going to be about it is going to be the wind chills. Now here's a shot right here on Sunday on the 28th, guys. This is your temperature advection look. This lets you know where the cold air is busting out into the warm air and all this cold mass is coming in. Matter of fact, if you look at it with all these greens, you can see it's right in between 500 towards 700. This cold air really clashes with the temperatures, and it really becomes a problem. It's really a fight and a battle, and the warm air is trying to stop it, but the cold air is too cold, which is good though, because I believe that warm air is what took a lot of the Arctic temperatures out of it. While it still was very cold, it could have been a lot worse. So this fight you see right here is the advection. This is the battle between cold coming into warmth, and they fighting for space. And if you look at the lapse rate from the same shot, you can see the unstable air. This right here, the gray, the dark gray, this is very stable atmosphere. All this happening right here, this is very unstable atmosphere going on with this system. So this is really a battle going on, and the cold air is going to win. And when you look at the lapse rate, like as far as the purples right here, you can see that's on the legend on the bottom. That's pretty much as high as it goes. And when you have the lapse rate happening that strong, that means that it's intense temperature change very quickly. So it's not like it's going to slowly come on in all week. This thing is going to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out. You know, it's really going to be a very quick temperature change happening with this. And it's going to hang around for a while, so it's just going to be a sudden change. Now, if we look at the jet stream, this backs up a little bit to 300 millibar level. You can follow everything that's going on. This is just so you know what you look at. It's the same shot I've been showing you, and this is just what it looks like. This is the air coming on in, and these are some strong winds with this yellow. I'll go over that as well. But you can see it do the big dip right here in the southwest. This is that big dip, and this is going to swing across. We can see it start to grow in the southwest and expand in the coldness that it has. Also, you can see the winds that are really coming with this jet stream on the northeast. If you bring the view back into where you can just see the U.S., you can see what it looks like. This is it coming out across. It really grew right when it passed Nevada and Utah. And then as it got down towards Arizona and New Mexico is where it's going to strengthen as it crosses over Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and just goes up. But you can see the winds on the northeast, and this is creating colder temperatures as well, because all this cold Arctic air is riding this jet stream. But as it moves through, you can see it growing well as the winds do grow as well. Stronger and stronger. You just see it, just a big section of cold air that's coming across. And normally you'd be warm at this time. And these winds been here for a long time for the northeast. And the jet stream, like I said, brought these cold temperatures, so you really got some cold temperatures over there for a while in the northeast. As this still continues to hold on to the cold air and swing across. And you can just keep on following it. Slowly moving with the jet stream, going to the northeast. But now by this time, we're Monday on March 1st, guys. This is the beginning of March. This is a shot that we just looked at. Now we see that there's a second anomaly that has a chance to happen. And I say has a chance because at this point, you're really at the 7 days. So things will change from here. I believe it's going to be impact-wise. Things will definitely change. But as far as the track, intensity might go up and down some, but it still has to move this way. This still flows this way. The ocean is not going to change. It's still going to have this anomaly. And I'm showing that we have a second one coming, even a third. And we can follow it through Monday, and you can see this starting to move over Texas. This is starting to come closer. Now the winds are calming down a little bit by now, and that is colder temperatures, guys. But you can still see this coming. And now you almost got two anomalies back to back. So it's definitely not going to be no warm spring for the West Coast. Now at this point, the one over Texas is starting to weaken. That was pretty much the strongest and the coldest that it was going to be. I'll show you some of the temperatures. But it can get up to definitely below freezing for a couple of days for definitely northern Texas. I did show that the other day. And you still see the Northeast still dealing with those issues. And they actually get a little bit stronger, but this one is still coming. Now it's starting to ramp up on winds as it keeps moving forward, guys. I literally going 3 hours at a time just to walk it through. We just went from Monday, now it's Tuesday. It's literally the second now. I'm not jumping weeks or days. This is literally 1 day of the movement that I've been doing. And by the second, you can get an idea of how these temperatures are that they're coming. Now, this pretty much is not bad. It's in the 30s, in the 50s in the south. All that's going to change. But you can see the cold temperatures that's in the west. Plus you have the northeast And the temperatures are -1 in a single digits. The temperatures. And the wind chill, the feels like, is going to be in a single digits for the west, and it's going to be negative in the northeast. It's going to feel like -33 in Vermont, -40 in northern Maine. That's what it's going to feel like with all these wind chills. And these wind chills are going to be blowing for a good bit. And this is still Tuesday on the 2nd, guys. Now, here it is right here above Texas. And as we keep moving through, this one's still coming. And they're pretty much uniformed every 3 hours. This one moves. It leaves a little space open for this to get in. And they just follow each other all the way across. 3 more hours on Tuesday. This is still the 2nd. And we still got the cold temperatures over there. Now, by this time, this is a little bit later on Tuesday, and you can see it kind of weakening as it gets over Kansas and Nebraska. So it is weakening. The cold temperatures is going away as it goes towards the northeast. So it pretty much cuts the country right in half. This side of the southeast and the mid-Atlantic a good bit is going to stay warm. The northeast is going to stay very cold, especially the wind chill. It's going to be negative teens to 20s. To almost 40 like you saw in Maine. It's going to be very cold over there. And then we still have another one coming, and this is only on the 2nd. This is going to be very fast moving, fast hitting. It's just going to change. Now by 3 p.m. on the 2nd, which is Tuesday, it really starts to weaken, and you don't need to worry about this anymore because it pretty much is warm on the east side of this. The only safe spot is right here in the southeast because it's cold from the wind chills in the northeast, and you got this cold air coming in from these pressure systems on the west coast. At this point, we get into Wednesday, and this is where the system kind of widens out for the last one, and we start to get a little bit far away. So please take these impacts with a grain of salt at this point, but still at this point, this energy has to go somewhere. So it's not like just because it's past 7 days, this isn't going to exist. It will change, but we can see if there's multiples or not, and there's a lot of variables showing that there will be. Now, a little bit later on March 3rd, which is Wednesday, you can see that the cold air is really starting to get out of the northeast now. So it's going to start warming up some while this system gets into the jet stream. It's going to be on the NAO will be on a positive phase. So it will be doing a higher ridge on out of here while this one is getting ready to come in for our second blast. And you can see here from the NAL, which is the eastern side of the jet stream, the East U.S., and you can see that it's going to be a little dip on March 3rd. This means you'll go into a negative phase, a -1. Then it goes to a positive phase. So this is about as far as a Euro can see. But the GFS, not only does it show the 3rd, it also shows the dip that's going to happen on the 7th. It shows a dip that's going to happen on the 11th. And that's what that wobble is. That's what I was trying to tell you in the beginning. And it's showing that there's going to be multiple events of this. Every time that jet stream does that little wobble, it's like taking a blanket and waving it, and that air has to go somewhere, and anything just pops out. It's just going to pop out a few times. That's why I like GFS. The impacts do change. It's not good at impacts as far as how far, but it gets it on when it gets tracked. It really does get a track good from far away. Closer than Euro. Euro's not even confident past the 7th, I believe. Past the 3rd. Now this is the angle that everything is happening on the 3rd, and you can see you do have a system happening up here in the northeast. It bringing a lot of wind, is bringing a lot of cold air. Also, you see that the cold air and the winds are going straight across at this point. At this point is going to change. This is Wednesday, and I am showing that according to the Euro model, which don't see too far. You see how far it is. It's already on the 4th. I mean, it's days away. This isn't how this is going to come out. Okay, the impacts will change, but there is a chance for a possible nor'easter, and I believe I showed this. Oh wow! There goes all the ice off my roof, guys. Be careful for all this ice melting on these roofs and just falling on the ground. Because I just heard about 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Hit the side of the building. That was a bang, and I just watched it roll off the valley of the roof. That was crazy. Please be careful out there. But we have a possible nor'easter for the northeast around that time. GFS shows it a little bit higher with very crazy winds. I did show that this morning. I will update that. But you see how the winds are straight across. Same shot with the anomalies. Okay, you got This one right here just let out the first one. It swung around. Now it's creating the cold air problems for the Northeast, while this one swung in for the first one into the U.S. This one's going to be the second one. But you see how it goes straight over here right by the Caribbeans? Well, they got a chance to get a little bit cooler as well, especially northern Bahamas, because this is going to change to a downwards, to a negative on the NAO. And it's actually a positive on the NAO, which means a high ridge. But with this cold air coming in, and you can see it protruding through, it actually splits up and messes up the jet stream. It don't know whether to follow this system or whether to go north like it's supposed to go. According to it's been saying it will be on a positive around the 6th. Well, there's a chance for it to split and become a negative, because this high pressure system with the cold air gets in between the jet streams, and this is boss. So right down here in the Caribbean, you could have a chance for cold temperatures at this time. This is Saturday on the 6th. I mean, it's not going to be Arctic cold, but I'm sure 5 degrees difference over there is a very big difference. And as you go just a few more hours longer, you see it does get a little bit stronger winds. It is a little bit worse as this one comes into the west coast for number 2. Still going through, 3 more hours, still coming through. Now we're on Sunday on the 7th, and it's still happening with the winds, and it is bringing some colder temperatures, so it's not going to be your 75 to 77 degrees y'all used to. It could be in the 60s by then. But it is hitting again, once again, is coming in, guys. It's not dissipating, it's strengthening, it's getting more wind around it. It will carry across. I believe this one curves up to the Midwest, and it's just going to cut the country right in half. 3 more hours later, following it again. And you can see the other one popping out now, and it is bringing winds. It is bringing some rain. There is a low pressure system that did build up over there. I did show, according to the GFS, but I'm not going to show that because it's going out, so there's no point. It's not going to affect anybody. I believe it's going straight out towards the middle of the Atlantic. But you can see it's coming in as well, so we're going to have cold pressure systems on both sides of the country. This is March 7th. Now we're getting into the 8th. I mean, once again, we're getting far, guys. But this energy has to go somewhere. So this will be subject to change as I got into the forecast. But you can see what to expect. You got the cold air up above. You got the cold air on the East Coast. You got the cold air on the West Coast. And it's pretty much just traveling across our country. It's going to cut us right in half. We're going to be warm on the East. We're going to be cold on the West. And here's a shot of your 850 millibar level at 3,000 to 5,000 to see your temperatures, and you can see that here. You can see you got your cold air on the East Coast. You have your warm air in the middle from the pressure fighting between. We're trying to keep it warm, but it's getting budged by a cold air anomaly right here that just came across the country, and it's getting smacked on the West Coast by a cold air anomaly. So it's really pinching this warm air right here, which could cause winds if it keeps pinching like that. It will cause a lot of high winds. And here it is right here. Tuesday on the 9th, you can see the fight right in the central U.S., guys. And this is going to be a storm right here. You're going to have cold air on the West Coast. You're going to have warm air on the East. It's going to be pulling the warm moisture and dew points and everything else from the Gulf of Mexico. And it's going to be feeding this system. This is going to drop heavy amounts of snowfall, especially in the higher altitudes. But there will be way heavy amounts that we've seen so far in those areas. Look at that system. Here's a better shot of it right here. It gets down to a 977 millibar. That's a strong hurricane strength. I'm not saying it's going to be hurricane winds, although you can't see the tight isobars. I'm not going to look it up. All this is too far. I just want to walk through it and show you what could happen, okay? But look at that. That's literally in the middle of our country, a big system. Cold on one side, warm on the other. And this is just feeding it right out the Gulf. And this is what the temperatures will look like for that shot right there. You'll see the cold air. This is 2-meter temperatures. You can see the cold air coming in. You can see the warm air and warm dew points. And you can almost see the spiral. But this is right where it's fighting at. But once again, the main problem with this storm is going to be the cold Arctic air that's running with this high pressure system. It's not going to be getting you down to 20 degrees. And the worst part is it's going to feel negative degrees. It's going to feel in the teens. It's going to be very cold. And you can see with the wind chills, you can see the spiral right here, the warmth and the cold winds. And now you see the winds got everybody in the teens. It's going to be cold. And this is about it, guys. This is Wednesday on the 10th. This is getting very, very far. But all the information is pulling together according to what it says. You can see the other anomaly right here on the back side of this one that just went through the country and curved to the Midwest. This one right here was the storm that you just seen. So that will be a good storm going to the Midwest. And it is going to bring snowfall because all the cold air on the west side of it. And then you got another anomaly that's going to swell up. Remember, the 11th was the biggest one out of the three. And this is going to fatten up big time on the west coast. And it's just going to keep us in cold air. It's not going to be spring anytime soon for the western USA. And literally, this is the last shot that we have. This is as far as we can see. They have another model that sees even further. But this is too far as it is. But you can see it does move in. And there is a possibility for another. But it does move in, and it is going to budge in, push out the high pressure. It's trying to stay warm, but it is going to get cold once again. And you can see that best here with the winds. You can see the second one also is going to go the same path, go right by Texas, and it's going to go all the way up to the Midwest. And here's the first one here that came out the East Coast, created a little storm and moved on. Starts gathering more winds, starts moving up to the Midwest. And right here is where you had that storm. This is where I showed you that storm. There's going to be winds. There's going to be a lot of warmth feeding into it. And that's why there's a lot of high dew points at that time, because it's being sucked up by this system. And on the west side, it's sucking in the cold air. So it's making a lot of snowfall. Then it curves up very fast towards the Midwest. And you can see the curve right here. Still while you're getting winds, still going across South U.S. The South U.S. is just going to have a steady line of winds. So there's going to be a lot of storms in the southeast. But then if you look again, there's a possibility for another. And it does show that it's trying to, once again, come on the west coast of the U.S. And the last shot we got, guys, it pulls right into the southwest. You can see the wind starting to pick up. That is colder air. And it is going to move its way in just like it did before. Now, this is going to curve up to the Midwest just like it did before. And it could even be another storm again. We got to check and see. This is way too far. It's just this energy has to go somewhere. It's not like it don't just disappear. Now, the tracks will change. The information will get updated. If anything, it'll constrict even more. And instead of pulling up towards the Great Lakes, it might pull up towards the Dakotas and just constrict a little bit more to where the ridge is way up here instead of way out here. Or it could relax some. So instead of the ridge being right here, it could relax all the way to where it ridges into the northeast. We got to wait and see, but I will update you guys. But you can see the temperatures. I mean, we're talking about March 10th temperatures. And the wind chill is going to feel like negative 15 degrees for Wyoming in March 10th, almost mid-March. The whole western half of the U.S. is going to be very cold. And the whole eastern side, especially the southeastern, is going to be warm. And the main factor is going to be wind chills with this system. The last shot we have is that big bulge that came in, and it just pushed all this cold air over. How far it goes, we can't see that far. This is already wishy-washy as it is. But I did check. The AO, the Arctic Oscillation, according to the EPS of the 45 days, you can see that you do have your dip around the 2nd through the 3rd. You got the dip around the 11th. And we got another cool down sometime around March 25th to the beginning of April. So I don't see springtime anytime soon. And going through what you get as far as snowfall, this is us right now. This is our snowfall rate. And by the time we get to the end of this run, it will change. But so far, it shows that the western half of the U.S. is buried in snow, especially high elevations. A lot of this is going to happen in high elevations, guys. But you will see a couple inches. Midwest, especially the extreme north, we'll be seeing heavy snow, and the extreme northeast we'll see heavy snow. And as far as how much, just in Washington alone, we're talking anywhere from 10 to 15 feet of snow in the high elevations. This is a lot. And you go a little bit further down, you can see everybody is going to get snow out of these systems passing by, especially that one big system in the central U.S. It actually sits there. It almost looks like a stall. It's kind of too far to tell, but it looked like it almost stalled and just put steady snow on the western U.S. That was pretty bad, and it drawed up them dew points way high. It just sucked all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. But everybody is getting snow. Northern California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, everybody is getting in on some good snowfall. And the Southwest as well, especially all of Nevada. Nevada is gonna pass over you. All these systems are going to swing in, especially on you. You can see everybody gets in on it. Arizona, central Arizona the most, probably the highest elevation you got there. But you got Arizona, you got New Mexico, you got Colorado's getting a lot. Matter of fact, Colorado, the highest elevation shows 12 feet. This is within a 2-week period. This is 12 feet in high elevations, 10 to 15 feet in high elevations. 10 inches just around the main city alone. And this is a lot of snowfall. The most you're going to get out of it, Texas, I know you got the question, the very northern panhandle, maybe a couple of inches. It's just mostly going to be a lot of wind chill, very cold wind chill. The Dakotas is going to get nailed. Montana's going to get nailed. Wyoming's going to get nailed. Look, that's 3 feet of snow in Wyoming. Plus, I mean, it looks like it's going to be 10 feet in high elevations. This is going to be a lot of snow, guys. 10 to 12 feet in high elevation. This is going to be a lot of snow. Northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, you're going to be seeing 10 inches of snow. There's still snow to come. Western half of the USA, your winter is not over. Upper Michigan, you're going to be getting snow. Northern Michigan, you're going to be getting heavy snow. The Northeast, especially Northeast New York, Northern Vermont, and Northern New Hampshire, as well as Northern Maine. Y'all going to be getting the heaviest amount of snow. Up to a foot to a foot and a half in these areas. While the whole time, the South and the Southeast is going to be getting a lot of rain. Y'all going to be seeing a lot of storms come off of this. It's going to be sucking these dew points, putting it with this jet stream, and it's going to twirl up and go across the south to the southeast towards the mid-Atlantic. But it is going to affect it. This is all going to be warm, very strong storms that's going to pop up, and it's going to leave a lot of rainfall. This right here is by Wednesday, by March 3rd. This is literally 7 days away. You're going to get 5-6 inches. You see the legend on the bottom. Across Tennessee, 5-6 inches of rainfall. And this is going to be extreme flooding. This is going to be flash flooding. You're talking 7 inches of rain for Knoxville. All the way to Columbia, 6 inches. This is all the way to Bartlett, almost 6 inches. This is going to be a very heavy rainfall right here across the whole state. And by the end of the track of the 2 weeks, it's even worse. We have it down to 10 inches now. It's way worse. The first one goes, the second one goes, and our third one's going to curve up. Not to mention the fourth one. Now that is the track, guys. That's what we have so far. I just wanted to throw it all in there. Hopefully you use the links in the description to save you more time. If you did watch the whole video, let me know in the comments below. I love you for it. Thank you for the support. My family appreciates you for it. Now, if you do know somebody that's affected by this, if you know somebody that's sick of this winter already and they live on the western half of the USA, please, guys, share this on social media. Let them know that spring is not coming for them anytime soon. Now, I have it on a temperature run so you can see exactly what I just showed you. And as far as the temperatures goes, the red is below 32 degrees. Anywhere you see red, that's your 32-degree line of freezing temperatures. The purple is where you get into the single digits. And in the bright purple, you can see the legend on top. As it gets bright purple, it gets, and towards the white, it gets very, very cold towards the negative. But this is the cold air that we have right now. Time and date is on the left. This is actually 9 o'clock this morning. This is how the model loads. Now I'm going to play this for you guys so you can see it in motion. I got it going kind of quick just so you can watch it go. Time and date on the left is going pretty fast, but it'd be really slow to show you 2 weeks. But you can see the negative temperatures right there in the white, right over Wyoming. But you see all the freezing temperatures. It's not going nowhere. This is the way our March is going to be. Now, you know how I do. The best part of my channel. I love you guys. Hope you all have a blessed day. I know a lot of you are very tired of these cold temperatures. I know there's a lot of you are very tired of this snowfall, especially those that's been affected by the power outages, the frozen pipes, just the bad problems in general that we've been having. God bless you. I hope that you are okay with this happening. Make it okay in your heart. There's nothing we can do about it. It is going to happen. All you can do is prepare. So those that tuned in God bless you. I appreciate you for hanging this far into the video. My family really does appreciate you. I don't ask anything from y'all. All I ask is just to support me. Just subscribe. That's all I ask, guys. I don't want anything from you. I'm trying to figure out what more I can do for you. So the best thing we can do for one another is preach the word of God. This is the only thing that matters in our life, whether some of you believe it or not. I'm going to pray for you. Later in life, when you realize, you will know. So God bless you. Isaiah 12. And in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee. Thou that wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation. Therefore with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. And in that day shall ye say, Praise the Lord. Call upon his name. Declare his doings among the people. Make mention that his name is exalted. Sing unto the Lord, for he hath done excellent things. This is known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. Amen. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. It's simple, guys. Just give him praise. Build a relationship. If he don't know you, you don't want to be that person. God bless you all. I hope you have a very blessed evening. I'm sorry to bring you the bad news that winter's not over, guys, especially for the western half of the U.S. It's not over by far. I will update you. Hope you all have a very blessed day. All glory does go to God, God of Jacob. Amen.